Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now listen, did not know who these individuals were, but had to go look them up, and my wife helped me find out who they was. We never watched that show. We watched one episode of it, but my wife didn't want to continue to watch it. And me, I ain't had nothing against it, but I realized you watch it too much, you gonna fall into a spirit of lust because they had some outfits on there. But we watched the episode and I never watched it again. I feel like my wife feels like she done watched a lot of it because of the TikToks and stuff like that. But I really couldn't get into it on a mental level and whatnot. And then you also have to put things into perspective. These are young people who are willing to go on a reality show. So, and willing to kiss strangers in the mouth. So you gotta, people that they just met that day, they willing to kiss them in the mouth. Could be anything inside of them people mouth. Well, I think they do tests and stuff before you go on there, but still, could have got on there and just showed up that day. Stuff like that. Y'all forgive me. Got a little quick call here. Tony speaking. All right, I'm back. Forgot what I was saying. Getting ready for my seminar. People calling me from the hotel January 24th in Lakeland, Florida. Sold out, just a little something small, little kickoff. And I plan to do these every year. But that's my hometown, Polk County. So my homeboy, my friend and business partner that I've known since the age of 16, he owns a hotel there. And so every year I may do my kickoff seminar right there at his hotel, but it's only 100 seats. So it's like you got to go ahead. This year was just $100. Next year, because it sold out so fast and people still ask for tickets, I'm gonna have to up it to 200. So go on, save your coins. So yeah, we let me see here now. I'm gonna pull up this here Nick in Olandria. You ain't even got the for them now. You ain't even got the look too far for them. Let me see if I could find a picture. And so this is one thing to understand about this here when it comes to the looks compatibility. So the first thing you have to realize is whenever there is a contrast in complexion, that's always going to be a plus, because remember, people like diversity, people like variety, people like a lot of times the opposite of themselves or the difference, something different from themselves, because we get bored with familiarity. We get bored with consistency. So if you wake up and you see your skin every single day, unless you're told every day that you got the best skin in the world, you're amazing, you beautiful, your complexion or your race is the absolute best on the face of the earth, then you're gonna kind of get tired of yourself and you're gonna be like, okay, it's cool, like I'm cool, but I like this look over here, I like that look over there. So contrast is always good. Now for them, their ancestors are rolling in their grave. Now, yes, we got a lot of interracial couples, but they much further apart. So for them, it's much further. I don't know if this is making it bigger for me or y'all, or if it's making it bigger for y'all too. And so this the thing. They are very far apart in a color contrast. And a lot of people can't get beyond their colorism, so they don't really fully understand that it's not just about the color, it's also about looks. So with this gentleman here, the thing you have to realize when you are evaluating someone of another race, you will never be able to evaluate them like their race can evaluate them, because each race sets the standards for what is beautiful and what isn't. So a black person looking at a white person will never be the same or as accurate as a white person looking at a white person. So we could look at him and say, he's a handsome white man. And that may be the case, but the level of handsome may vary. So we could look at her and say, she's a beautiful black woman. A white woman might look at her and say, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, I love her skin, I love her body, I love whatever. And then a black man can look at her, and a black woman can look at her and say, this. A black man look at her, say this. What you got to understand is, from a white person perspective to a black person perspective, it's going to be different when commenting on their same race and comment on a different race. From a woman's perspective and a man's perspective, is going to be different because genders see things differently. And so that's where you have to be careful when it comes to looks compatibility, because a lot of women will look at her and say, she's gorgeous, she is so beautiful, she is so this. But when I look at her as a man, I just see a woman. Like I see her, but I'm not like smitten, or I'm not like, oh wow, like, oh my goodness, I see beautiful skin, beautiful physique. But inside of the beauty constructs, what are you going to do with beauty constructs? See, the man doesn't have on makeup. The woman has on makeup. The man doesn't have in weave. The woman has in weave. The man doesn't have his body done. The woman could have her body done. Like her breast, this could be a breast augmentation, just how firm they looking and just how, kind of prosthetic-y, but they could be real. You never know, but it looks like a breast augmentation. And her skin, absolutely beautiful, undeniable, but that's if you like dark skin. If a white person might not like dark skin. Now, obviously, he don't have a problem with it, but I mean in general, so they may not like it. Me being a black man, I like dark skin. So to me, it looks like beautiful skin. Some black people don't like dark skin because of colorism and because of self-hate. So not every black man is going to be into her skin. And this is why opposites attract. Because this white guy could think she's more beautiful than a black guy thinks she is. This white guy could appreciate the beauty in her skin more than some black men can. And that is because, and it's not all because of self-hate. Some of it is self-hate. Some people is self-hate. For the other people, it's just familiarity. When you're used to something, you're not as in awe of it because that's your skin. So a black man with her skin, he's not going to be impressed with her skin because he has her skin. He's like, I live in this, like this me. Like I'm more impressed with this white person's skin or this Hispanic person's skin or this Asian person's skin because that's different. Like I've never had that. That looks interesting. But he's her same color. He going to be like, this is my everyday. Like I'm used to this. Like, yeah, she pretty, but I'm not gonna fall out over her skin because this my skin. And so that's why the saying is opposites attract. So that's what you got to realize and understand about this. is you have those moments, those times where that happens. Now, y'all, I got to pause real quick, answer these messages real quick. I'll be right back. So here's the thing. It's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that's all a personal choice. So that's where you have to always factor in. That's where your exceptions to the rule come in. But off of just them as a couple, they aren't looks compatible. And the reason being is because within their own respect, in their own, and not in America, within their own perspectives and respect, they are not the same inside of their race. So, for example, in the white race, a man with his bone structure, his height, his build, his look is in the upper echelon of his race. In the black race, Olandria's look is more so it's a regional part of Africa. So she has a very unique look and build that in the black race, she's not as celebrated. That's why she was available and able to go on the show. He was available and able to go on the show because you could tell he kind of got a little playboy in him and he wants fame. And you could tell by his look and the way he dressed, he wants fame. Yeah, she probably want a little fame too. Like, she's not against the fame, because you got to remember, we're not talking about a regular couple off the street. We talking about a couple that agreed to go on national television and kiss people in the mouth. So that's a different type of person. And you don't have to do that for love, because we got Bumble and Tinder and Hinge and my dating app on the way. And Arlette and BM dating app on the way. So you don't have to go on TV to find love. They went on TV because they want to be seen, they want to be known, they want to be famous. Don't get it twisted. So don't try to sidestep around that. And they was available to go on there. We also don't know if both of them was all the way single, because we don't know their story. So if they had a partner and they partner allowed them to go on there to get fame and to get money, then that's also a different type of person. So for her, for Olandria, the reason why she was available and not locked down, not married, is because black men, and when I say black men, I mean on average. Of course, there's a million black men who think she's gorgeous because now they've seen her. But they was letting her walk around out here completely single. And the reason being is because she's dark skinned and she's very slim. So majority of black men don't like themselves. So they don't like dark skin. Majority of black men have a bad taste in their mouth because of their mama or their sister or whoever. And being black, also, a lot of black men, a lot of dark-skinned men, there's probably some light-skinned men who loved her because they was tired of looking at themselves and they loved her, but she might not like light-skinned men because she looked like she loved herself. So she might have wanted a dark-skinned man. She obviously okay with a white man, and it hasn't worked out with a black man. So she open, and now she exploring. But if you notice, remember, we base things off of conventional, traditional, what you always see. And this is why this is so hard for us, because we don't always fit inside of it. And so you could feel yourself getting in your feelings right now. Right now, just process it, feel it. You getting in your feelings right now. Here come your trauma. Here come your self-hate. Here come your anger. But if you notice, she is a little mouthy. And so when you're mouthy, what the mouth did is it threw off the symmetricalness of her face, because she have a small nose and she got a relatively small face. And although she have a little bit of forehead, it's not a 5 head or a 6 head. So being that she have a nice set of teeth And lips, it gives a little largesse. And so when you get a little bit of largesse in one part of your face, now it's harder for people to process you. You got to remember how the brain works. So when a black man was seeing her in middle school, and she probably had the same size teeth and lips in middle school. And so this could have been the size of her face since 12 years old. So now picture that. Picture a 12-year-old body with her lips and her teeth. It's going to be larger now that she's grown and she got breasts and she can afford long, voluminous set of hair. Now it brings a little more balance. So bringing a little more balance, it makes her look more like a Barbie doll, the long hair. So now she look more like a Barbie doll. So that's how we view her. But what the thing is a Barbie doll isn't a real woman. It's not a real person. So when you look at a Barbie doll, you know, and you're looking and you're like, this is a caricature. Like this is a character, like the Ken doll. And this they're gonna make the Olandria doll watch if they ain't out of business. Because she looked like a Barbie doll. Why she look like a Barbie doll? Long hair. She got a long hairdo with the waves, the curls, body wave, whatever y'all call them. And she has beautiful skin. So she got like perfect skin. So what it does is it makes her look unrealistic. So if she dress up like this and she walking through the street, a man not gonna see her like a normal woman. You ain't gonna see her like a normal woman. So although and he will be more so what she's gone into, her look is now like novelty. Her look is now like it's like unrealistic because you don't see it all the time. So that makes her attractive to men who want something different. If you notice, when you think of every black man you know. Think of every black man you know. Depending on the complexion of their wives. So if you think of every black man you know with a brown skinned wife, you think of every black man you know with a light skinned wife. If you notice, most of their wives look alike. And you probably cannot think of, unless you're African and you know from different tribes and you got a lot of diverse experience and you've seen all kind of different African people and African descent, you probably don't know a black man, or I ain't gonna say a black man, you don't know 5 black men with a wife who look like Olandria. And so that is what happens with looks compatibility. When you have a rare look, it actually can become harder for you. And what you will end up attracting more often than not is you'll end up attracting more players, because players have already had all of the standard and now players want the exotic. And that's why Nick is so attracted to her, because he's probably had every shade and every type of white woman. He probably has had brunette, blonde, or whatever other colors they got for their hair, hazel eyes, brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. He probably have had all of that, have dated all of that, or could have dated all of that, or what have you. Now, yes, they could come out and say, oh, I'm a virgin, and oh, I've never dated before, but it's not adding up with you having the confidence and the wherewithal and the desire to go on national television tongue kissing people. It's not adding up. So typically, anybody who go on a show like this to do what they did have a little bit of a Jezebel spirit. So that's why this is a unique situation, but these people are still in our everyday lives. So you may have a unique look. So for example, your look your look may not be Olandria's look, but that don't mean this isn't relevant to you, because your look may still be a unique look. So like, I have clients who are like really, really, really light, like no tan. They black people, but no tan, and so they skin is really light, almost kind of like, if I had to describe it, even though it's not the thing, it's like translucent, like a really light person. And that look is rare. Like, you don't see that look all the time. And so, I only have a couple clients like that for that reason, because so therefore a lot of times they be single, because it's jarring. It's something to where when somebody see you, like, whoa, like, who are you? Like, where'd you come from? Like, what is this? People like familiarity, in the sense of that they've seen it, not familiar to themselves. See, remember the caveats and nuance. That's why you just got to listen. You can't try to fully understand. You got to watch this 2-3 times, and then they'll start to make sense to you. Because we still got people out of the single class that's in the comments. Listen. This not this. If you have a learning disability, I'm not, or a learning ability, differently able. This is not for you. Just listen. Stay out of the comments, please. You're not going to understand it right away. It's going to take time. And this ain't my construct. This is the world construct. I'm just articulating it for you. And so you got to take time. You're going to listen. You're going to understand. So people like familiarity, meaning like the look. They've seen the look before. It may be the opposite of you, or not your exact same look scale. Like you may feel like a 6. You may want you a 5, or you may want you a 7. And that ain't got nothing to do with your complexion. Then when it brings in the complexion, you may be dark skinned. You may be okay with a light skin or a white. You may be light skinned. You may be okay with a dark skin or a white, because it's different than you. So you could go lighter than you. You could go darker than you, but you going different than you. Then some people want their same exact color. Sometimes you have men who will date women the color of their mama. Now, my mama is lighter than my wife, ironically, but she's a black woman. And my mama come from the South. She understood that light skin get treated differently. All of her siblings is dark skinned. All my mama's siblings is dark skinned. My mama is the baby. So that's why she got to see that light skin get treated differently than dark skin. That's a reality. Colorism is real, and you just got to understand that. And so with this right here, they're not looks compatible, but they can be couple relationship compatible. And let me explain that to you. They're not looks compatible because they too far apart, and there's not a through line and synergy. So just off of looks, you wouldn't put them two together. Like if you're a matchmaker and you got all the pictures of the women, all the pictures of the men, you would never place them two together. I'm a matchmaker. I would never place them two together unless they express the interest. Now there's a famous couple. There was a famous couple. I've seen this couple before. y'all realize that. See, y'all like to argue. Y'all like to argue. I've coached a couple just like this before. Just like this. And let me tell you what happened. I've coached a couple just like this. And guess what? The woman was even more unique looking than Olandria. The woman was even more unique looking. She was darker. She was shades darker. And the man was like this guy. Let me tell you what happened. That sister ended up having to leave that man, because she say he went to being basically controlling and psychotic, and it became a thing to where the woman felt unsafe, and they had beautiful kids. Beautiful. Now what they about it right up? Them kids be beautiful. Them kids be beautiful. But the difference between the cultures and the experiences is so far apart. But what keeps them together, Paul, calm down, okay? Is get deeper. What keeps them together is their differences. What separates them is their differences. So for the first years, whether that's 1 year or 5 years, there's so much to learn about the other person and their mindset, their belief system, their upbringing, their experiences, their race, their culture, their habits, their choices, decisions, like why they do what they do. Like Nick is like just in awe right now. He's like, what? Are you kidding me? So you mean to tell me that you were bullied for your skin complexion? You know what? This ticks me off. Oh, do you still know the guy? I'm gonna tell you this, Oli. When we go to your hometown, if you see that prick, you tell me, because I got some words for him. Oh, and so he's so like immersed in like, Oli, you don't need sunscreen right away? And she like, yeah, I'm gonna put some on. Like, yes, black people burn, Nick, but I don't have to put it on right away. I just like the sun to bathe me a little bit, and then after about 20, 30 minutes, then I'll put me some on. Wow. And he's sitting over there red as a tomato. He putting that, he got that sunscreen. He got sunscreen under his arm. He got sunscreen on his tongue. He got it all around his mouth. She like, Nick, calm down. Like, my goodness, you like Casper the Ghost. Like, you can't sit in any sun? He's like, Oli, no, I can't. Like, I'm white. Okay, you're black. I know another black and white couple. The white man said to his wife, hey, tell them to turn. They was in a party and it was dark, and he said, tell them to turn the lights on so I can see you. And that's what you got to realize when you so far apart. So here this woman, she is with not her, talking about this other woman. She with a white man, but the white man is actually a racist. Like, the white man actually don't like black people, but no white women wanted him. And this black woman is single and successful and making good money and connected to billionaires. So he like, let me let me get on in here. So one thing about a man is a lot of black men are with white women for opportunity, and a lot of white men are with black women for opportunity. See, it's different for a man, and this where women sometimes, this is where y'all have to exit the chat and just listen, because you don't understand the mentality of a man. So so with this right here for Nick, regardless of how he views her, he could view her as beautiful, sexy, nostalgic, novelty, whatever. This is opportunity. This is bringing him brand deals. They just was on the cover. Him being with a white woman in 2026 would not be impressive. It would not be intriguing. Y'all so intrigued with them. I ain't know who they was. This y'all request. Y'all so intrigued with them because of they're biracial couple. I mean, they're interracial couple. And so that's why you're so intrigued with them, because they're interracial couple. So it's like, wow. And my wife was telling me about some lady said they won't last till Christmas. And then Nick took that personal. They lasted till Christmas, and she said, and he did. I think she said he did a video saying such and such. We remember you, we heard you, we made it. So that's also a thing, is that sometimes when you get with somebody, and now we bringing it back to regular every day. Sometimes when you get with somebody of another race, y'all may prolong, or that's far from you on the looks compatibility, because y'all so far apart on the scale of complexion, and then they on the looks level they may be the same, but that's beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's like Olandria is a 10, but it's a unique 10. So if a person don't appreciate the eclecticness of her look, the uniqueness of her look, a man may say she's a 4. He may give her a 6 or a 7. But then it's gonna be men who they want exotic. So she is what you consider exotic. And what I mean by exotic is because look at how slim her arms are, how slim her waist is. I think my wife said she did a thing where she put sunglasses on her waist. How slim her waist is, and then she said she have like a little bubble butt. And so it's like slim waist, so like she built very uniquely. And so when somebody built like that, so unique, that could make them, that's when it becomes subjective. That's when the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And here's the thing, what you have to realize with looks compatibility. Looks compatibility is,
I really be so mad.
let me pause this here. And I'm gonna, so you see what I'm saying here? So you about to watch on this here thing. So this is the thing where I was telling you about looks compatibility. You have, and y'all ladies, y'all save it in the comments. She is gorgeous. She gorgeous. We understand that. It's like hush. It's like hush. This is a lesson that I'm trying to help you understand through your single life and your single journey, how people is viewing you. So if you notice, like I told you, she is a little mouthy. And so what I mean by mouthy is 10 out of 10 women, 9 out of 10 women don't have her lips. 9 out of 10 women don't have her teeth. And if you see how her mouth sits out, from her face and not down with her face. Her mouth sits out, so guess what? That's genetics. That's tribal. So her tribe in Africa, that's a unique tribe. They have a unique look. So her look is very unique. So I know I grew up with a black girl who used to do everybody's hair. She used to braid our hair and plait our hair. She looked like this. She was Haitian, but we all know we come from Africa. So yeah, although she was Haitian, we from Africa, and her family got dropped off in Haiti. So you can't even say it's a Haitian look, because we from Africa. So because that is not the standard, because that's not the norm, a man with looks compatibility, a man has to get close to her and be around her, and her look starts to become normal to him. Her look starts to grow on him. So it's not that she is ugly. It's not that she is unattractive. And this is what a lot of people is misunderstanding about looks compatibility. It's not that she's unattractive. It's that she's rare. So when something is different, you need proximity. You need time with it. You have to be around her to where you realize, whoa, I love her lips. Man, her lips is what the white women and the Persian and the Middle Eastern women is paying thousands of dollars a year to do. She got the lips all the women want. Wow, I love that set of chompers she got on her. I love her smile. Her smile just light up the room. Like, that's how you go to feeling when you get around them. So guess what? Let me tell you the thing with Nick, though. Nick ain't seen Olandria. So that's why my wife was telling me, like, anytime he got a chance to go kiss somebody, he'll go kiss her. Because you got to remember, this is a white man. At least as a black man, we've seen some women. We know black women who look like Olandria. Although it's not the standard look. So, like, the standard look that you're going to see of black women is kind of like our black actresses. That's what we see the most amongst black women. So, like, the Kyla Pratts of the world, the Melinda Williams, or Regina Kings, those type of looks. The Viola Davises. The Viola have a unique look because she's darker than what we see on average, and so she has a richer melanin. So we don't see that a lot unless maybe you in certain cities. Maybe DC may have a lot more rich melanin in different places, or where you live at. But where I live at, it wasn't a lot of women who looked like Viola Davis. It was more so kind of like this like through line. And then when you have somebody outside of that through line, you got to get to know them because they different and they look different, and you throw it off and you kind of like, this is a different kind of look here. And then you get to know them. And so with Olandria, imagine Nick. This is why black women with white men work. Because a black woman is the Smithsonian to a white man. Like, as black men take black women for granted because black men feel like we grew up with you. My mama is just like you. My sister is just like you. My grandma is just like you. My auntie is just like you. I know you. And what do they say about familiarity? Familiarity breeds contempt. And so that's what you got to realize. Y'all forgive me, my homeboy. He also do my security. We texting about the event we got coming up. And so think about this. The more you know somebody, and this is what a lot of times people don't think about. But familiarity breeds contempt, meaning extensive knowledge or close association with someone or something leads to a loss of respect for them or it. That's what we're not taking into consideration. Extensive knowledge of or close association with someone or something leads to a loss of respect for them or it. So think about this. I want you to understand this. White women curse out and talk to white men like a dog. Black women will curse out and talk to black men like a dog. White men will curse out and talk to white women like a dog. Black men will curse out and talk to black women like a dog. Familiarity. When you go outside your race, it's novelty. It's exploration. So you spending so much time getting to know this person. Whereas when you with somebody of your own race, you feel like you already know them. So other than just learning some of the specifics about their life, they feel familiar to you and you'll take it for granted. And that's why some interracial couples work better than the same race couples, because amazing, my wife picked up Chipotle and Starbucks for us. I had to, I love you so much. Woo! She gives us Chipotle and iced coffee. Yeah, y'all, I'm gonna have to hit this pause button. I coach in an hour and 10 minutes, so I got some time. Got a little time on here. So I want y'all to think about that now. Listen, if you got to pause the video and unpack it, pause it and unpack it and look through your life. Look around. Like if you get out your feelings and you really, as we going through these and we using different couples as an exploration, you will get to the point where you got a master's degree in this and you stop going after people that's not for you. You stop looking at people that don't want you, and you start to realize who wants you and who you are looks compatible with and who you'll be a good fit for, and good or bad. So when I say they not looks compatible, what I mean, it don't mean that they don't have chemistry. It don't mean that the relationship don't work. Not being looks compatible doesn't mean that you're not relationally compatible. That's a new layer that you got to understand. You don't have to be looks compatible to be relationally compatible, because opposites attract, and sometimes your differences can be your strength if you choose them to be, or your differences could be your demise. So that's why it's not a one size fit all, and you cannot broad stroke with this here in a relationship. So we had somebody off of the short bus on here the other day, a guy, he was talking, bruh, what you talking about makes absolutely no sense, sir. Don't come on here telling us that you slow. Hush and just listen. Just like you didn't have to tell nobody that, because plenty of people understand exactly what I'm talking about. You didn't have to tell nobody that. It's like we not in high school no more, so nobody know that you in that class all day long and didn't get no recess, or that's all you had all day is recess. We didn't even know that, sir. Stay out the comments being negative and just hush. And if it don't make sense to you, just keep going. Like, y'all got to learn how to be grown. Like, get out the comments. If it's not for you, go somewhere else. Ain't nobody paying you to be here. Like, you're not finna stop nothing. You're not finna slow nothing down. You're not finna make me lose all my supporters. So it's like, just hush. Like, nobody want to listen to you. They is over here to watch this video with me. So it's like, y'all just let the class move forward and start disrupting the class. So here's the thing. What you have to realize is, with this right here, with interracial, there's no familiarity. So you could be in an interracial relationship for 5 years just off the muscle, just off getting to know each other. Like, just getting to know each other. Like, now I realize my wife know me inside and out. Boy, in and face. Anything I'm faking, anything I'm thinking or faking, or anything, she know exactly what's wrong with me. Like, it don't matter what face I try to put on, it don't matter how I try to hide it, it don't matter what I try to do, she know exactly what's wrong with me. I mean, wow, intuitive. But I remember when I met my wife, she used to just stare at me. she used to just stare at me. And I one time I said to her, I'm like, I don't even know if you like me. And she said, this was her words, and this is the only time she said this in our 19 years of marriage. And we weren't married then, we was dating. She said, I don't know if, she said, I don't think you realize how fine I think you are. And boy, that thing floored me. That thing floored me. My dangling hit the floor. I was so excited. I say, man, I mean, that thing melted my heart. That thing melted. I ain't never questioned my wife after that. I ain't questioned her about her love for me after that, because she's not that type of person. She don't give like compliments like that. Like her family's not like that. I mean, so they different. They don't show a lot of affection and all of that. Like they call each other on the holidays and all of that right there, but all the I love yous and all the lovey-dovey and affection, they don't do all that stuff. So when she said, I was like, man, that thing hit me. And so what you have to realize is, when it comes to a relationship, the interracial, like what we seeing, the interracial, what we seeing, they could have longevity. They could have longevity just off of the strength of how different they are. And this is what I want you to think about now. That this going to be an exploration. What I want you to think about. What I want you to think about is I want you to picture. I want you to picture Nick as a slave master and Olandria as a slave. And I want you to picture them, how they are in slavery times, walking around, holding hands, kissing. Picture that for 5 seconds, and how shattering that would be to the world at that time. Now, I want you to see Nick as a white businessman. He owned a blue-collar company, and Olandria as a black woman who works as a maid in Jim Crow time. Because or she work in a restaurant or whatever black women jobs they could get in Jim Crow. But look, and when I say Jim Crow, I mean like before like voting rights and stuff like that. I want you to picture them in that time. Then let's see this right here. Look at this now. In America, interracial marriage became legal across the entire United States on June 12th, 1967. So you understand how far apart they are? That 77, 87, 97, 07, 17. So we going on 60 years. That has just been 60 years. Your parents older than that. We ain't even at 60 years yet. Next year will be 60 years. Next year, June 12th, will be 60 years. My dad, 63. My mama, 62. When they was born in 1962 and 1963, interracial marriage wasn't even legal yet. And guess what? What do we know? What do we know? Richard and Mildred Loving, a white man and a black woman. See, that's been more of a theme than a black man with a white woman. Although black man was with white woman, it was more secret. It was hidden. It was forbidden fruit. Oh, master is away. White man is away. Black man cleaning the yard. White woman shoot him in the eye. Rub his bite. Bring him some lemonade. Lean in, kiss him. He realized, whoa, she want me. Boom, 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 boom. Knock her down behind the tree. She run back in the house. Baby come out light skinned. White man like, what the world? Put the baby up for adoption. That was happening. You got to think logically. You got to realize what was happening. So the black man was dealing with the white women, but it was secret. White men run the country. So if a white man say, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm finna do. White man say he want him a black woman. They were arrested in Virginia for marrying in 1958. Their case eventually reached the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Earl Warren wrote the opinion, stating that marriage is a fundamental right and denying it based on race is a denial of liberty without due process. The decision invalidated laws in the 16 states that still had them, making interracial marriage legal everywhere in the United States. Despite the ruling, some resistance continued, with Alabama being the last state to remove its anti-miscegenation law from its constitution in 2000. Alabama died in 2000. This same thing in 2000. So now y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's not easy because of the history. So guess what? And this is what a lot of people don't think about in relationships. In relationships, you talk about everything. And there's always little subtle stuff that people feel. So like, even with people who are let me see. Here we go. I'm gonna show y'all this one here. So now we can see them standing up. So even with people who are same color but different nationalities, that is an issue. That becomes an issue. Like, I got one of my homeboys is from Barbados, and he say Jamaicans are known to Caribbean people as Jamaican is known as arrogant. And a lot of Jamaicans I talk to are arrogant. Like, they kind of arrogant, or they kind of rude, they kind of real sharp. You know, they not bad people, they just no nonsense. My wife is Jamaican. They just no nonsense. Nice people, but if you cross them, you're gonna have HE double hockey sticks to pay. Like, they don't play. And I don't think nobody from the Caribbean play. But it's still almost like gang lines. It's still like, oh, y'all like this, oh, y'all like this, oh, y'all like this. And you got to love and respect, but you still see the differences. And so black Americans, we were sold into slavery. We come here to America. Then we start to procreate. We start to be born here in America. Black people from the Caribbean, a lot of black people from the Caribbean, a lot of black people from Africa look down on us as black Americans as dumb, ghetto, lazy. And they think about their struggle from their country, but they don't think about that they coming to a country that we were born in. So we were born into our nightmare, and they coming to our country as the land of dreams. So they're coming with a dream, with a hope, with a desire for success, and we were born here in the land of nightmares. So for black Americans, for a lot of black Americans, America is a land of nightmares. For black foreigners, America is the land of dreams and opportunity. So they come with a much more dialed in mindset, and they become doctors and lawyers. And a lot of people skip over that fact. And I heard a white man comparing Nigerians to black Americans. And he skipped over the fact that a Nigerian ancestor was never a slave in America. He skipped over the fact that a Nigerian person's ancestor was never sprayed with a fire hose in America. He skipped over the fact that a Nigerian ancestor was never in Jim Crow, was never beaten, hung, lynched, was never kicked out of school, kicked out of a restaurant in America. He skipped over the fact that the Nigerian came to America when it had become the land of dreams for him or her. But black people who were born here are living through trauma every year. So what you have to realize is when you go into an interracial relationship, all of that history goes with you. All of that history goes with you. And you're going to have an argument about slavery. And somebody have to back down. Somebody got to back down. And very rarely is it going to be a black woman. But she could say, well, you know, I get it, slavery, whatever. Somebody going to have to back down. So either the white man sympathizes with the black woman's plight, or the black woman feels like black people are pretending to be victims and need to suck it up and get over it and get a better life and just go make a better life. So typically for this to work, somebody has to overcome their past or detach from their past, because otherwise the conversations remain the same about what your people did to my people, how your people truly see my people. When we go somewhere, how do people see us? Now, me, I'm a man, I can't judge Nick. So I'm just assuming because of his height, because, you know, he's fit, he's not overweight. So I'm just assuming that he's a handsome white man. I don't really know. So y'all have to let me know. White women will have to let me know. Black women, yeah, y'all could say whether he is or not, but it's going to be different because you're not white. So you're not going to see him the way a white woman going to see him. And then I think that's why that person said they wouldn't last till Christmas, because we never see the likes of this. Like we never really, yes, there's interracial couples, but we never really see it on this level where both of the people are top tier in their own race. So like Olandria, although she has a unique look, she still will be top tier. It's just a lot of black men don't know how to take her in. They don't know how to accept her. They don't know how to be around her because what her energy, what her aura is giving. And then when she dresses up and she put that makeup on, that lip gloss, that eyeliner, them lashes, that hair, now she go into a whole nother level of beauty queening that is gonna make a lot of black men insecure. Because they're going to be like, whoa, hold on now. You just morphed into something that the world has never seen. Like, we don't, like, your look ain't walking around out here every day, all day. And what a black man may try to do because of his own trauma and insecurity and self-hate, he may try to break her. He may try to suppress her. And so that's when the white man becomes a refuge, because his people have already broken black people. So he trying to make up for lost time. He trying to heal. He trying to mend the gap. He trying to mend the brokenness. He living from white guilt. And he's like, I want to prove to you that I'm nothing like the white people that you see on the news. I want to prove to you that I'm nothing like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. I want to prove to you that I'm nothing like Rush Limbaugh and all these other guys. Like, I want to prove to you that I don't feel like Charlie Kirk felt about Michelle Obama and these other black women, and that they didn't have the brain capacity to hold the positions that they were in. I'm going to prove to you that I don't feel like that about black women, that I feel you have the brain capacity to hold any position that you want. I got your back. You go get it. I'm here for you, babe. And so that's how he come with it. And so now for the black woman, until that white man gets familiar, she get the rest. She get the rest. Like, she tired of competing. She tired of fighting. She tired of going through. But one thing I'm going to tell you, a man is a man. So when he get comfortable, I just coached a black woman yesterday who got a baby with a white man. White man left her high and dry. White man disrespected her left and right. And they been together for over a decade. They was together for over a decade. And so once again, it was proven to me. And I got a lot of other clients. And I had a lot of other situations. Just like I was telling my other client who looked very unique, very beautiful. But she's even darker. She might be 2 or 3 shades darker than Olandria. And she had a white guy just like this. But he just wore his hair different. And that white guy became like her slave master. Like, he seen that she was popping. And he seen that her brand was building. And it was like he got with her. And it was like he became her manager. He became like her content creator. He became like her brand director. And so the relationship became a business. And the sister started to feel used. She started to feel controlled. She started to feel microaggressions. She started to feel just gaslighting and breadcrumbing and all this different stuff. And they went through a divorce. And so that's the thing I want you to understand, like, to y'all women that think that white is right, that's from your trauma. White's still wrong. You got to understand, it was white men who did Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims. The Pilgrims and the Indians. That was white men. It was white men who did slavery in America. It was white men who did Jim Crow. It was white men who started the Ku Klux Klan. So I want you to understand that a white man is a man. So don't feel like and could try to convince yourself that he's a savior. Jesus was not white. The white men painted Jesus white, but Jesus was not white. Your savior, Jesus Christ, was not white. History has already proven that. So don't think just because you saw a picture of Jesus with blonde hair and blue eyes, or with brown hair and blue eyes, that that's what he looked like, with very pale white skin. Don't think that that's what Jesus looked like. Not with hair of wool, feet like bronze. So don't think Jesus was white. And so now you get with a white man and you think, oh, this is my savior. This is my saving grace. This is my abolitionist slave master. Don't go into it with that mindset. Go into it with a mindset of, do I connect with his heart? Do I connect with his spirit? Like, is he gentle and loving and caring and considerate? But most of all, is he authentic? And you got to pay attention to the micro things. If you're a black woman and you go date a white man, you got to pay attention to the microaggressions. Do he ask you to dress up? When y'all get nasty, y'all get freaky, who is he asking you to dress up like? If he asks you to dress up like a slave, or he asks you to dress up like what is Auntie Anne, that was on the syrup box, or he asks you to dress up like some like a maid from the movie The Help, that's a red flag. He ought to be asking you to dress up like a doctor, like a lawyer, like an old freaking nurse. That's how he ought to be asking you to dress up now when y'all get to going around. But if he say something to you, you got to be careful when he get on your complexion, when he making jokes about cotton, fried chicken, watermelon. That when you got to understand, okay, where this coming from now? Where this coming from now? What side you really on? Like, are you over here because you tired of white women, or because you like me as a person? Are you, because at the end of the day, like, you my sister. As a black woman, you my sister. I don't care if you date Barney, the purple dinosaur. Like, I really don't care who you date. I just want to protect you, and I want to make sure that you okay. I want to make sure that you in something that's authentic, that's real, that's genuine, and you being treated the way God intended for you to be treated. I don't want you to operate from your trauma, from your self-hate, from your pain that black men caused, and you run like a deer into the headlights of a F-150 of a white man because you think he is your savior and your saving grace. Because what'll happen is you'll go in and you'll be blindsided and you'll drop your guards, and the next thing you know, he's treating you like a working class slave. He's treating you like an indentured servant, and he is mastering you. And it may not happen till year 5, year 7, year 10, when familiarity breeds contempt. So don't think that I'm against interracial dating. But what you have to understand is that the history and the biography equals the makeup of a man. So what I understand is men, and a man is a man. White men cheat just as much as black men cheat. Not all the way. And when I say that, I mean relatively. You can't compare a black man to a white man in entirety, because the history plus the biography equals the makeup of a man. So someone who was raised in the projects and had to hear gunshots at night and didn't have a father in the home has a different barometer, a different scale than someone who was raised in the suburbs in a 3, 4, 5 bedroom house and only heard gunshots when they were at the gun range or hunting, and had a father in the house every day of his life. And then when he lost his father, had a stepfather that loved him just as much as his father or more than his father, which is typically the story for most white men. Now, if the white man story is like the average black man story, that's when you have an exception to the rule, and that's when you can kind of put them on a similar plane in comparison, but not all the way, because white skin still is going to get different privileges that black skin will get in the real world. Now, in the sports industry and in certain sports, black skin is going to get more privileges than white skin, unless the white man is used for a cerebral position like a quarterback. Then he's going to be honored at the highest level, and that's the opportunity to really pay the white man like they pay the black man. But in everything else, in athletics and music and entertainment, they're going to honor the black man a lot more. But in the world of corporate America, that white skin is going to have advantages, and that's just because of what we've come from in America with slavery and segregation and Jim Crow and redlining and gerrymandering and systemic racism and all of that right there. All that stuff is real. And so if you honest as a black woman with a white man about y'all's struggles and the things you had to overcome, even if it wasn't from your man, but from his family or from the community, if you honest about that and you really study it, then you'll see like, oh, okay, we got over that hurdle, we got over that hurdle, we got over that hurdle. Or if you look at the story, if you don't have any issues, any problems, and you look at his story, then you'll see how he's differently shaped, how he's shaped differently, and his history and his biography is different, and that's what makes him different. So for this relationship right here, I do feel like it's a TV relationship, and I do feel like it's like a to the money run out type of relationship. It's one of those things to where they so young that when they get into the nuances and the nitty gritty of the history of black and white and all the things that they're going to have to face, unless they get with a seasoned professional, like myself. And in cases like this, I believe couples like this need a relationship coach, not a therapist, because a therapist is good for trauma and for things of that nature. But when it comes to specific knowledge and wisdom and understanding based on life experience and God-given wisdom, if you just picking a random therapist, you're going to fail, because they book trained and they took a test, but that don't mean they have wisdom from God. Now, if you could find a therapist who has wisdom from God and has some life experience, and that therapist is willing to put on a life coaching hat as well, relationship coaching hat as well, if a treatment plan is not needed, then you got something. But it's not as common. We got some here, and we got some that's on mymentor.life. If you're a life coach, consultant, therapist, go join mymentor.life. Go and set your profile up. If you need a coach, go over to mymentor.life, book you a coach over there. We have a filter when you click hire a coach and all of that right there. I'll tell y'all, I'm gonna show y'all how to use it, because some people don't. And so it'll be good if you take and you go to it from your computer. And so you'll come on here and you'll click hire a coach. And then if you go on your computer, but you'll see it on your phone, click to filter coaches. Then what you'll do, you'll click on service. So you see how it's aging parents, athlete, life coach, beauty, branding, consulting, confidence, couples, all that right there. So see couples, co-parenting, confidence, all that right there. So you'll see all these different topics. We don't have interracial dating on here. We do have herpes on there. So that's, because there's so much sex going on. That's happening. Health and wellness, inspirational. We ain't got interracial dating, but you just do couples. And it's still a married but separated. Got all these different things. Self-esteem, self-love, single mom, little style coach, success, time management, travel, vocal coaching, window coaching, youth. Oh, widow coaching. I'm like, window coaching? What the world? Teach how to window shop? That's widow coaching. Sales, relationships, reconciliation with lover, reconciliation with friend. Well, we got all that over there. We got recovery. That's recovery now. It's not about the actual addiction. Now that's like recovery support, having a support partner. Personal power. So you select what you want. Select what you want. Let's say love, and then you click apply filter. And when you do that, all of the coaches, Devontae is in the Blessed Tribe. What y'all coaches that's on here, what y'all need to do is, Walter got a good picture. Fodge got a good picture. Vic, he was a little dark because he gave the little, low resolution. Danielle, y'all take this and put it into, you take a headshot and put it into Gemini and say, turn this into a professional headshot, and it'll do that for you. So y'all listen, this little compatibility, is very nuanced. It's very hard to explain. I'm explaining it, but it's a lot of caveats and nuances to it. So you have to think about it, and you kind of got to make it make sense to yourself in your language. My language may not make sense to you. Your language not going to make sense to me. You have to understand it for yourself and make it make sense to yourself, so that if you single, or even if you married or in a relationship, you able to look and see, okay, what's our looks compatibility? And how is that going to affect our relationship? How does it affect how I see you and how you see me? That's what you have to look at and think about and realize and understand. So we appreciate y'all. Discounted sessions is in the description. Still got those open for March. Booking into March is last month of the quarter. So that'll be a first quarter wrap up to get you ready for the second quarter. The Solopreneur Mastermind is enrolling. Go to Tony Gaston Academy. You'll see it. If you want to build your business, build your brand, we'll have us a nice little small group experience, and we'll have some preliminary calls before it, just based on my schedule. But it actually starts in April. And once again in April, we cranking it all the way up. We cranking up. You hear me? We building. We are building. So, God bless you. And we'll talk soon.